Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. All right, so we're just about to get this party started, and we are going to be coming to you live on both Zoom and YouTube. So here on our screen is our contact information, Wise Guys and Ties. You can give us a call, 888-524-9273. There's also our email and our website. Go over to wiseguysandties.com. My name is Ray Fleming. Also pictured here is my business partner, Mr. Joseph Smith. We are the Wise Guys and Ties, and we help folks find money and solve their financial problems. Today, what we are actually talking about is if you have business credit already established, if you already have a good personal credit score, how can you use that to jumpstart your business credit building process? Today, I'm going to speak more specifically on how to implement the use of your good personal credit score. And so as you take a look at our screen there, I'm going to go ahead and get us moved over here. All right, hang with me. Excellent. All right, as my computer warms up, and we are talking about credit. Absolutely. So credit-based financing, what is that exactly? So credit-based financing, actually, if we're looking at from a business perspective, we call this unsecured business financing, startup financing, or even credit card stacking. So what do you need to actually have in place in order to qualify for this? Well, we look at a 650 credit score on your personal side to get the standard credit cards. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, you may or may not know exactly where your personal credit is at currently. But if you don't know exactly really or the ballpark, I recommend you start to engage with your personal credit and monitor and see where that's at. Now, some of you may not be in this situation, but that's okay. We have other options for the folks that don't necessarily have a good personal credit score. But if you have a higher than 680 personal credit score, you can actually use that to jumpstart your business and be able to access 0% interest for a certain period of time in the form of business credit cards and standard credit cards, plus you could get more money. So what does that mean exactly? Well, some folks, they actually use our services to get both personal credit cards and business credit cards in one sitting. So what we do is actually we have an algorithm and we do tracking, so we know the approval rates, which companies are giving out money in the beginning of the year, which companies do more in the later half of the year. And what we do is we collect all that data. And so as somebody comes to us, we evaluate their profile and we say, okay, this person can qualify for this much on their business side, which is anywhere from 25 to 150,000 sometimes, just depending on where their score's at. Also the condition of the personal credit. Now, by doing that, then we also look at their personal side. Hey, are you looking for personal credit cards as well? Now, by doing the conjunction of two, it's very important to understand that as we go through this process, we'll say apply for one account the first day because we know that they do a batch reporting to the credit bureaus on Friday. And the next day the next company will apply to, that takes them 2 days for it to show up on your credit report. But the gist of that is we structure it in a way that all inquiries hit the same time. So none of the other lenders know that you're trying to source funds from the other lenders out there. Because if all of a sudden you apply for a credit card and then you go apply for another one, and then another one, all of a sudden you're racking up inquiries and each new lender is going to see that you've already started to source money. And that triggers a red flag that you are in almost danger. They want to start to reduce their risk by not extending more credit to you. So this is something that you want to avoid. And by going through a service like the Wise Guys and Ties, we can definitely help you do this the right way so you can maximize your approval rates. Now, after we go through that, what are some other ways that you can actually get some unsecured personal credit cards? Well, the other thing that you want to remember about personal credit cards is you don't want to be using really more than 50 or 30 or even 50% carrying over that balance. So let's say that you have let's say you have $10,000 worth of personal credit cards. or limits. You really don't want to be carrying a balance more than $3,000 to $5,000. 5,000 is really pushing it, but many of us, not knowing how to actually use personal credit, max out these cards when ideally the most that you should be carrying on that personal card is only 3,000 or 30% of the available limits. Now in business, that's much different. You can actually carry the full balance. You can max out your business credit cards, and as long as they're the right business cards, because not all business cards are created equally. Many business cards, they just report to the business bureaus, but there's business cards that report to both your personal and the business credit bureaus. But you don't necessarily want that if you're looking to actually use those funds, because if you max out your business credit card on the business side, that won't have an impact. But on your personal side, that can totally screw you over on your utilization. Now, if we're looking at personal credit cards, we can usually get approval amounts from 10,000 to 150,000. It just depends on where you're currently at. These approval amounts equal the current limits that you currently have. Multiply that by 5. So let's say you currently have a $10,000 credit card. Typically, if there haven't been any inquiries in the last 6 months and you've been in good standing, then we can typically find you closer to 50,000. Now, on the consumer credit reporting, you'll get up to 5 business credit cards. Basically, you'll start to create some competition within yourself. So as you get approvals, the banks that are lending your business money want to actually engage with you. They want you to be their primary customer. So what they're going to do is they're going to offer you some incentives, 0% interest rates for 6 to 18 months. You know, the normal rates after that, 5 to 25% interest rates. Now, these are annual percentage rates. So to look at the monthly interest rate, you're going to just have to divide that by 12. But there's some phenomenal opportunities out there to actually get some business credit cards. Let's take a look at some more options for your personal credit. Now, if we're looking at doing this, so doing a credit card stacking method for you folks, there is little fees that are in there, because what we do is we have a team of financial advisors, loan officers who actually track this data, and they go out there and they're the ones that are going to help you apply for these accounts. Now, what we have is a 10 to 12% success-based fee. Just as if you were going to get a loan from the bank, there is the origination fees, there's the the lending officer who's actually out there helping you, the time that our staff takes to actually go out there and analyze your account, we just build those in. So as you contact us and you get set up with our direct financing, there's no upfront cost. So we can actually go out there and source the funds for you. What we do is we have you pull a personal credit report and then provide that to our financial team. Our financial team will analyze your situation, they'll look at your business, and then we start the process of shopping around and also looking at different options for your situation. Now, nothing has actually taken place at this point. Our team has only done the ground research for your situation, and they've also haven't charged you anything at this point. Once our team has compiled all the information, then they come back to you and say, hey, look, this is the situation, with your credit score, with your business, all the data that is available to us. We strongly feel that we can find you 50,000. We strongly feel that we can find you 100,000. Now we discuss the fees. If we are able to find you, say, $100,000 in 0% credit cards, then we might then there could be the potential of, say, a 10% success-based fee that would only be paid after you received all those funds. And this is just one of those things that there is a cost to the service, but it just depends on what you were looking for. If you're looking for, say, a huge amount of business credit lines and that can accelerate your business, yeah, are you willing to pay a small fee for that? Absolutely. So what you'll need is you will need a good personal credit score. Like we talked about, at least a 650 or higher, utilization under 50%. So you can't have any maxed out credit cards. Ideally, we want to see over 680 of that personal score, but also we want to see less than 8 inquiries on your report in the last 6 months. One of the best ways to get high amount of money when you have no collateral or cash flow is to actually go through this process. It works even for startup businesses. You could literally start your business tomorrow, use your good personal credit to actually start the business credit card process for your business, and within really 60 days, you could have an excellent business credit rating. And as you go through the process of building and establishing your business and its financial structure, you can actually start in 6 months, as soon as 6 months, to work towards having that personal guaranteed removed so you actually can reapply to certain lines of credit and talk about moving away from having you personally liable for that debt. That's something else that most businesses won't talk to you about. They'll go out there and get you the business cards, but yeah, let's make sure we have a plan on how we're actually going to get that personal credit guarantee removed from your profile. So as we continue down this, let's look at just, if we're looking at business credit cards. So the approval amounts are anywhere from 10,000 to 150,000, very similar. So approval amounts are equal to really they'll take a look at your personal credit cards, and let's say you have a $15,000 personal credit card. Well, your business is going to get anywhere from 5 to 8 times higher limits than that. And these also are going to be more specifically reporting to business credit reporting agencies. They'll get money, basically you get money and you can build your business credit at the same time. We're talking about usually 5 to 8 business credit cards, also 0% interest rates for 6 to 18 months. These are absolutely phenomenal ways of growing your business credit in a very, very quick period of time. They're very similar to when you're doing the business credit card stacking as well. Whether it's personal, whether it's business, there's always going to be some type of fee associated with this because it's a service that's being provided. Now, if you're doing this for your business, you're going to need a good personal credit score, at least 680 or higher. Utilization, really, to maximize your business approvals, we want to see it under 30. Less than 4 inquiries on your report in the last 6 months. And just as you're going through this process, you've got to think about what you're going to use these funds for, because you don't necessarily want to go out there and get a whole bunch of money without utilizing it properly for your business. Whatever your business is, whether you're in trucking, whether you're in real estate, whether you're in retail, whatever the business is, you want to make sure that it's going to work right for you. Another thing that we utilize is basically business credit lines with the cash out ability, because you may be in a situation, say real estate, where you need to be able to pull cash out. Maybe you're going to the auction to actually buy real estate properties, but you're going to need, say, $10,000 cashier check. How do you do that? Well, some of our credit lines that we actually can apply for are not necessarily the expensive cash out options. We have the ability to tailor you to other companies that provide the cash out ability where you don't have to pay so much for that cash out, meaning that we have what's called really these hybrid programs. Rapid rescore is also available. So let's say that your personal credit score is not where we need it because of utilization. We can actually, in certain situations, make little loans to you that would reduce your utilization. And then we do what's called the rapid rescore, where without having to wait a month or so, we can actually get a rescore of your profile now with the new utilization, and then use that to actually go and source the funds. Like I said, we also have soft pulls. We're having you check your credit, so we actually don't make any inquiries until we come up with a good plan to execute. Typically, by doing this, you're going to see 5 times more money than you would be able to get just going out there and applying to accounts on your own. So like I said, you could go out there by yourself and get maybe $5,000 or $10,000 for your business, or you could go through a process of credit card stacking where you can get 25 to even 150. It just depends. But corporate credit cards, it's really the way to go, because business owners can build their business credit Then they use that to establish credit to qualify for the revolving credit lines without personal guarantees or consumer credit checks. Once your business has built its business credit, then your business itself doesn't need you anymore to be applying for these accounts. It's really, think about maybe you're fresh out of high school going to college, you don't have any credit. They're going to see that your parents maybe could co-sign for your student credit card, really, since you have no track record. This is a very similar situation. You first are guaranteeing your brand new business, and then once your business is up and running within a short period of time, 6 to 12 months, then we move away from keeping you personally liable. Oh, it's absolutely phenomenal. And then what we do is we get you into the world of auto vehicle financing, cash credit cards, and those all take place after you have 14 accounts reporting on your business credit reports. Now, these approvals are based on your business credit's quality only. And it is amazing what can be done in a very short period of time. Because if you're thinking about how long it'll take you to get your personal credit to an excellent score, it may take a very long time. But business credit, you can get it there within 60 to 1 year. 60 days to 1 year, you can actually establish and grow an excellent business credit rating. Truly, truly phenomenal. Now, I want to get a couple of more aspects in here on corporate credit cards. Business owners can build their business credit. Then they use that to basically go and source more funds. If you need money for your business, there's no better way than leveraging your business. Absolutely. And so many folks are like, well, how do I actually do that? How do I go through the process of, getting these? It's very, very simple. Actually, when you're working with the Wise Guys in Ties, we have built this to be very, very easy for you. All it does is it takes less than 30 minutes, sometimes only about 15 minutes for us to actually gather up all your information and start the process of sourcing the funds for you. What we're going to have you do is we're going to set up have you pull your own credit reports so there's no inquiry, and then hand that off to our financial team. Then our financial team is going to go out there and start shopping around. It could take a couple days or even a week or two. Just depends on how much funds we're looking for and what it is that we're trying to accomplish. For example, if we're doing peer-to-peer lending, there's many factors that will determine the approvals on that. So we'll look at your personal credit score. We'll look at income to debt ratios. We'll also look at revenue and profit, so your profit and loss statements for your business. This is going to be a little bit more for established business. The fees are anywhere from 0.5% to 10% for actually finding those funds. And then the terms range anywhere from 1 to 5 years, loans in the amounts of $25,000 to $500,000. This is a phenomenal option for businesses that have a little bit more establishment. Say your business is up and running, you got some cash flow, you got some collateral, then let's take a look at this. Because if you're looking for, say, $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 in a loan, we can definitely help you with that. And a couple more options. If we look at like term loans, because we've talked about lines of credit, but also want to talk about loans because we can also help you source these loans for you. Your business is going to need to be in business for at least a year. You're going to need a decent personal credit score. So at bare minimum, 625, but really you're going to need over 700 to see some good approvals. Now, this is also for well-established businesses because we're going to need to see that you're bringing in at least $10,000 a month revenue. And we're going to probably want to take a look at some tax returns. And basically what they're going to be looking at is a solid foundation, a strong bet. Banks don't want to bet on something that's volatile. Most businesses fail in the first 3 to 5 years. So lenders are really going to make sure it's a sure bet before they start loaning you money, which is very interesting because a better product, a line of credit, is actually a lot easier to get than the business loans. But, just depending on what the situation is, you can get a lot more funding through a loan. But it just really depends on where you're at. We do offer 30-minute business credit consultations for whatever your situation is, in that we can actually evaluate it and see how we can actually best get you the money that you're looking for. All right, so Something happened here with my little screen there, but let's get back here. Let's make sure that we do not have any questions coming in. All right, so let's make sure that we can get the PowerPoint to work here for you folks. And there is one last aspect I want to talk about today before we move forward. Let's talk about not term loans. We just did that. I want to talk to you about, here we go. Please hold, just bear with me 1 second. Let's take a look here. I want to talk to you guys about business credit. We've been talking all this day about business credit, but I don't want you to feel left out if you do not have a good personal credit score. Business credit, it's really the catch-all to everything. You know, if you have no cash flow, you have no personal credit, you have no collateral, you don't need any of that for approvals. Basically, we also have the ability to help you build business credit that only reports to the business credit reporting agencies. Utilization doesn't come into play. Your personal credit doesn't come into play. The impact of your personal credit doesn't come into play. Business credit inquiries don't show up on your personal credit. Business credit basically will determine if your business loan will get approved, the amount of the loan, the amount of the line of credit that you can actually qualify for. Also the terms and the approvals, including the approval rates and interest rates. Really, if you want to get funding for your business, then you're going to have to reduce the risk for lenders. That's why you need to do both in conjunction. If you're going to go out there and use your personal credit to jumpstart it, yes, that's excellent. But follow what we do and make sure that your foundational aspects about your business information, your email address, your phone numbers, all that is corrected, but that you also have your vendor accounts, your trade lines, your auto financing, your gas cards, your fleet cards, that is going to make a well-rounded profile. So when it really comes time to wanting that 250, that 500,000, even $1 million loan, that your business is ready for it in a very quick period of time. Well, folks, that's all the time that we have for today. I wanted to touch base with you and really let you know about some other options on using your good personal credit to access business financing in a very quick period of time. So if you have good personal credit or no credit at all and want to see about getting up to $150,000 for your business and business lines of credit, trade lines, vendor accounts, and all sorts of good stuff, you can give us a call at 888-524-9273 or go over to wiseguysandties.com to get some more information and see how we can help your business get the funding that it needs to grow. Other than that, folks, look forward to working with you in the future. Make sure you head over to our, click a link in the description on YouTube and also put in the chat on Zoom so you can get registered for our credit banking mastermind that is taking place every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Other than that, you folks have a wonderful day. Good night, and God bless.